We're supposed to talk about our marriage. Is our marriage worth it?
Oh boy, you're worth it. You're worth it. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this about it. It was hot today, but not as hot as the day we got married. Whoa, that was horrible.
If I weren't married to you, I would
He's
marry
gonna
you
say it
again.
Why?
I love you.
You marry me again, so I'll wait on you? Huh?
Huh?
You're gonna marry me again, so I'll wait on you?
No.
Yeah. You have to admit it, Papa. Don't you? Is that enough?
How did you meet?
When did we meet? Oh, we met in church.
Yeah, you sure did.
About that day.
Huh?
Tell us about that day.
Ouch. It was, I gotta move.
It's the Tennessee Baptist Church, Rochester, New York.
Well, you remember that, huh?
I sure do.
What was the pastor's
Remember, I
name?
saw you too.
What?
First time I saw you up in the choir loft.
I wasn't in the choir hall.
You were up.
You saw me down in the hallway after the church service.
Oh, yeah, I remember I saw you though.
And
Where did you meet?
Mr. Culver introduced us and invited us to his house for supper. That's how we met. And he claims it was love at first sight.
What did you think of him when you first met him?
He was a nice-looking young man. And then later on, after we married, he finally got brave and showed me the pictures before, when he was in his early 20s, and I told him I'd never marry him if I saw him then. He was scrawny. So that's how we met at the church. He was the assistant pastor there. He was student pastor there. So then, now what?
Well, when they were introduced to each other.
That's when we were introduced to each
But
other.
you went to the pastor's house, didn't you?
Yeah, for supper.
What did you eat?
I have no idea what we ate. I don't know.
Do you remember anything about it?
No.
No. About the time you got married? What do you remember about your marriage? About being married? Your marriage ceremony?
Our marriage was here. What about our marriage?
But when you first got married, your wedding.
Oh, our wedding was in Ottawa, Illinois, because your Uncle Ed married us in his church in Ottawa. And then we went to Starved Rock Park. We went to Starved Rock Park for our honeymoon. And we had, it was a very small wedding, because it was just people from his family. Mine was all out east.
Oh, Sylvia and Ed?
Well, Ed was the minister, and Sylvia was our matron of honor.
Oh, okay. Sylvia's still alive, right?
Yeah, she's married to someone named Snow. And then we got on when they left, then we stayed at Starved for a week, and then we went to Rock Island on the train. It was a hot day. The train was packed. We had to stand up in the aisle, and that's when I first met his Aunt Esther on the train. And he said, he jokingly, I hope it was joking, he said, I said, it's so hot, I'm going to die. He said, well, I'm going to have to pass through you this at the train. Then he can pick you up for your funeral.
Oh.
Well, we pulled into the train station, and guess what? The pastor was there waiting for a body.
Oh.
So we stayed in Rock Island for about a month. We had an apartment about a block away from Grandma and Grandpa. And then we went to Lake City, Iowa. So we lived there for about 2.5 years.
Did Dad have a church there?
Yeah, he had a Baptist church.
What was the name of that church?
First Baptist Church.
First Baptist Church.
And then he taught school there for a year. Then he went to Paris, Illinois. And he was the pastor of the church there. And then we went, and that's where, well, Margaret was born in Lake City. Tom was born in Paris. And then we moved to West Frankfurt. And then we were there for a few years. Then we moved up to Collinsville. In well, before we moved from West Frankfurt, Dad went to seminary again in New York City. And Margaret and Tom and I lived in a trailer, in a little bitty trailer, and he had more room at seminary in his apartment on campus, and we had in our little trailer.
So you would live separate from each other for a while?
Yeah, because he was in school in New York City for 5 months. And so then we went, and then we went to, his first assignment was in Southern Illinois.
First
And-
assignment in an Episcopal church.
Yeah. Yes. And then, and that was, and there he had 3 churches. And then, Episcopal churches. Then we went to, Collinsville. He only had one. He was the rector at the church there. And then we moved to, River Falls. And we were there for 11 years. And you know a lot about River Falls. So
Now you sure do.
that seems to be home to everybody. Everybody seems to navigate back to that side of the state. So, and then from there we went to West Bend and then up here.
So you lived up here most of your life, though?
Yeah, both of us. Most of our life we lived in this house for 34 years. So, yeah, and Eva was the first person we met when we moved up
That
this
was,
way.
it says here today.
You remember when we
And Joe and Eva came up here,
Yeah.
came over and visited us.
Well, we had to go over there to get the key for the house.
Clementine.
Clementine, turn around, Chris. It's at 10 o'clock before the plant board. Clementine, had us go over there and get the key. You had to get. Sophia, honey, don't go through there because it's gonna pull the lamp off. Is that right? Well, she would feel badly if something happened. Why don't you come over here, hon? With our grandma.
So, did you ever go, when did you first introduce your family to your dad, to Dad?
Oh, my family. Well, he used to come to our house, he used to come to my house on Friday nights when he was in seminary in Rochester.
Sure did.
And I always accused him of coming to find out whether I knew how to cook or not.
Oh, so you would cook for him?
Yeah, I cooked on Friday nights when he came.
What kind of stuff did you cook for him?
Whatever.
Did your mom help you, or did you just
No,
cook on your own?
I was in charge of cooking on Friday.
How many people were in your house still? I mean, all your sisters must have been married by then.
And most of my sisters, really just, I think your Aunt Ike was home. And, well, was Ina still home? Did you meet Ina when? I'm trying to figure. You couldn't have met my brother because my brother was killed in the war.
About the same time you got
Oh,
married?
no, maybe, no. No, he must have met, I don't know whether you met my brother or not. Did you meet my brother?
I think you did once.
Why? Well, because we
You
were.
said you met him once.
Yeah, because, he wasn't killed until after we were married.
Oh, okay.
So Ina must have been home too. She was married, but she moved back home while, Bob, your Uncle Bob Rich was in Germany in the war. So, Ina moved back home. So, And I think Sally was still home. That, I think that's about all that was home. The rest of them was all married.
How about the first time you met Dad's family?
I didn't meet with his family till we went to Ottawa to get married.
Oh, okay, so you never met them, okay. Did
No.
you meet any of his brothers, or?
Not until we went out there.
So was it hard your first years of marriage?
Huh?
Was it hard?
Oh, sure, everybody. It's such common.
Was it during the war?
But
And,
you know, well, not only that, but it's still time of getting acquainted with each other.
Yeah.
You know.
plus you had to have special stamps for buying food, right?
Oh, yeah, we
Ration
had
stamps.
ration stamps. I can remember when we lived in Paris, standing in line waiting to get meat. And by the time I got up to the counter, the meat was all gone. So it was a different way of living.
Or did you have a victory garden?
No, not then. No, when we lived in Paris, Dad tried to make a garden, but Suzanne, the rabbits got his carrots. So
Like park garden?
I told him, don't plant carrots, the rabbits will get them. And our neighbor had a pet fox, I remember that. I don't remember what his name was, but he had a pet fox.
So, did you guys take the trolley around town, or did you take
When I lived
bus?
when I lived at home, we always took a trolley or a bus, either a trolley or a bus. But and when we lived in Rock Island, we took a bus. And Lake City was just a little town. We walked everywhere.
You didn't have a car.
No, we didn't have a car until he had the missions down in southern Illinois. Then the diocese bought a car.
That's the one you got in an accident with?
That was the new one. We had an older, they furnished us with an older car until the new one came. And then the new one is the one that got smashed.
So you were
And they
just,
had to do another one, huh?
who was born when you got into the car accident?
Oh, Charles was a baby.
Oh, okay, yeah. They said the three.
Charles
Julie
was
wasn't
about
born.
8 months old. That's when they, yeah.
So, did you have any friends that when you first got married that would come over and stuff, and any best friends or acquaintances, or?
Yeah, he had friends in Rock Island that came in. They had kids, the people that were in his, you don't try to remember something.
Where's that come from?
Christianity Today, the time you went to take a subscription, you're not. You were disappointed in the last issue you had of that.
Well, how many years have you been married now?
61.
So does it seem short or long?
Oh, it seems like forever.
Well, I'm sure for you it probably
No, I
doesn't
don't
seem
know.
too long, but
I don't know, I never think about how long, how it seems like it's short or long. I never think of that.
yeah. So, you've lived over half your marriage up here in Door County.
Yeah, 34 years.
So that's the funny thing. Did you ever think you would end up in a place like Door County?
Never dreamed of it.
Now, did you guys all get an offer in West Bend to go somewhere else, or?
No, when we were in West Bend, they had too many students in seminary, so they asked all the older priests to take early retirement. That's why he retired at 62. So they'd have a place to place their priests. And that's why we retired. And then we didn't know where we wanted to live. And we knew we didn't want to live down south. And the pastor, one of the priests at Waukesha, said, well, there was a place over there. We really want to live in Waukesha. And James said, well, why don't you call Nanny? You remember Nanny?
Yeah, Jackie's
And
mom.
she knows of any place up in Door County. So we called her and she called us back and she said that I know of two, I found that there were two places. One was in Carlsville and then there was this. And we never did see the house in Carlsville. We walked in this and,
Oh, there's one that we were looking at. So,
uh, we walked in this, and we liked it. The rent was good.
right,
Because
you
we
bought
could
it.
rent it, and if we decided
Oh.
we didn't want it, then, we could move out. Otherwise, what we paid in rent would count for the down payment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got
That's
no
it.
down payment home.
Now that I sit down,
Well, just a few more things. When you were talking about when you first got married, that you had people like friends that would come over right after you married, and who they were. And,
people from his church that he went to in Rock Island came over. They had a shower for us.
what was your day-to-day life when you first got married? What would you do, like when you woke up in the morning, and did Dad have to go off and take care of the church, and you were at home?
When
And
we were that first month, no, we didn't do much of anything because he didn't have a pastor.
did you go for walks, or
Yeah,
what did
go
you
for
do?
walks, go to the movies.
What kind of movies would you see?
Well, whatever was on, usually musicals, musicals.
This is 1944.
Yeah, 41, 40, yeah, 40, 40s, the 40s.
So I saw like what, musicals like Fred Astaire.
Yeah, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers.
What was it like going to the movies back then?
Not like it is today. I don't think it's as loud. It was mostly black and white movies back.
Oh no, I mean, but was it like the theater that you went to there? Was it like
Oh,
a big theater
the
or a little
Orpheum
one?
Theater was a pretty good size theater.
Was it like one of those old-fashioned big
Yeah.
theaters with all the with
All the
the
ornaments,
drapes and ornaments and?
In Lake City, they had a small city. It was a small theater. It was a small town, and they just had a small theater there. And I know Margaret used to go up and down the steps. When we were there.
So did you take Maggie to movies when you were kids?
Oh yeah, sure.
Now you were Baptist then, right?
Yeah.
But you could still go see movies? I thought Baptists weren't allowed to
That's
see
a
movies.
Southern Baptist.
Oh, so you
All
weren't...
Baptists aren't the same. Northern
Okay.
Baptists are entirely different things. And I mean Northern Baptists. That's other than, there's so many different kinds of Baptists. They get mad at the pastor, so they start another church.
Oh, okay. So you belong to...
That's one of the things Dad didn't like about it.
Okay. No, it's like they're...
A good friend of ours in Lake City was the Presbyterian minister there.
So they weren't these very conservative Baptists that we see like around here and stuff.
Oh, no. Well, where I went to church, it was a very liberal church in Rochester. And it was a little more conservative Upper Lake City, because it's a small town.
Yeah.
Real small town.
Did you have any problems at the first church you guys were at, or were people pretty friendly? And
Most of them, yeah, most of them.
did they have like picnics and?
I don't know, they didn't have church picnics, did they? You know, the house we lived in was so big. It was too big for two people when we were making. Well, no, maybe we were born in a little house. It was too big, and
What was it like your first time being a mother? When Maggie was first born?
like it is for any.
Did you have like a baby shower or?
No, they got a shower out east and stuff too. There's the people at the church too.
They had the shower out east and
My
the census
sisters
taking?
did out east.
Oh, were you like an effigy or something?
Huh?
You were just. How can they have a shower out east and?
Well, they got together and had a party.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then they sent me something to us.
So-
Now, I sit down.
So in the Baptist church, that you belonged to, could you have wine?
No.
You couldn't drink wine or anything
No.
like that. No.
No.
So that's, I know Dad likes his wine now, but when you first got married, you couldn't drink wine.
No, I don't even think he approved of wine yet.
Oh, that's.
It was after he became an Episcopalian.
It's after he joined the Anglican Catholic Church, he became a cellist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, well, Dad, what do you think of all these years of being married to the same woman?
You hear what he said?
What do I think about it?
Being married to the same woman for 61 years.
I just think about the long time I've been married to her, and I see right now, if I were married to her, the present time I'd marry her again because I just love her so much. She's a very special person to me. Always has been.
Of course you're not special. You're not special, you know.
What?
You're not special, you know.
No, I'm not special. I can't help it. I'm just old Carl.
Yeah, I'm just an old duffer. That's all.
Okay, we'll let you
Well,
guys
I
off
would
the
trade
hook
you
for
in.
now.
Take me in. Huh?
No, I won't trade you.
What kid me in, huh?
No.
Anyway, kids, why don't you go up and give Grandma and Grandpa a big hug and say happy anniversary. Okay, go give them a big hug.
And he says, I already did that. Right.
Say happy anniversary, guys.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Oh, we love you. We love you. What children you are. How proud we are to have grandchildren like you. Means so much.
Even
to
if
us.
he has a chocolate plum.
Yeah.
Strawberry.
Okay, say happy anniversary, guys.
They did. Now may I sit down?
Now you may sit down.